9 things man should not do with women. Imagine a world where respect, compassion, and equality are not just ideals, but a way of life. A world where every interaction reflects the highest virtues, where we uplift one another rather than tear each other down. Today we delve into the profound responsibility we have toward women, not as a matter of mere courtesy, but as a reflection of our own character. Together, let's explore how our actions can create lasting harmony, guided by wisdom and integrity. This journey is not just about the relationships we build, but about shaping a better, more just world for all. Number 1. Do not disrespect her boundaries. A person's boundaries are the invisible lines that define their personal space, safety, and well-being. These boundaries are not merely social constructs. They are fundamental to a person's sense of autonomy, dignity, and peace of mind. When we disregard or violate these boundaries, we undermine trust, disrupt the flow of healthy relationships, and cause emotional harm. In Stoic philosophy, one of the core principles is to treat others with justice and respect. Respecting another's boundaries is a reflection of this principle. Just as we would not tolerate our own boundaries being overstepped, we must extend the same courtesy to others. A woman's boundaries, whether they are emotional, physical, or psychological, are hers alone to define. Disrespecting them is not only a personal violation, but an affront to the principles of empathy, understanding, and equity that Stoicism advocates. This respect for boundaries is not confined to clear, explicit limits, but also extends to the subtler, unspoken signals. It is about being attentive and mindful, understanding that everyone has unique comfort zones. A Stoic man would approach these boundaries with awareness, recognizing that to step beyond them without consent is to act in ways that lead to conflict and harm. More than simply avoiding actions that infringe on someone's boundaries, a Stoic man would actively seek to create an environment where others feel safe, respected, and valued. This can involve asking for consent, listening attentively to cues, and ensuring that both parties are comfortable. To disrespect a woman's boundaries is to dishonor her autonomy and personhood, something that goes against the essence of true virtue and Stoic wisdom. Number 2. Do not diminish her voice. Every individual possesses a unique perspective, and in the pursuit of wisdom, it is essential to recognize that everyone's voice matters. A woman's voice is no less valuable than that of any other person, and to diminish or silence it is to reject the core principles of justice and equality that Stoicism holds dear. In the Stoic tradition, we strive to elevate the voices of others, not suppress them, as true strength lies in understanding, not in exerting power over others. When a woman's opinions, thoughts, or emotions are belittled, it is not just an attack on her. It is an attack on the principle that all human beings have the right to be heard. To dismiss her words out of ego or pride is to disregard her humanity and her individuality. In Stoic thought, every person is a rational being, with their own experiences and wisdom to offer. No one, regardless of gender, should be robbed of the opportunity to express themselves. To diminish a woman's voice is to ignore the possibility of growth that comes from dialogue. When we listen to and engage with another's ideas with respect and humility, we expand our own understanding of the world. A man who seeks to control or overpower a conversation, rather than foster a meaningful exchange, denies the opportunity for shared wisdom. When a woman's voice is disregarded, it sends a message that her thoughts are less significant, which harms not only her sense of self-worth, but the quality of the relationship itself. True respect means providing space for all voices to be heard, free from judgment or diminishment, and recognizing that the ability to listen with an open heart is a cornerstone of wisdom. Number 3. Do not objectify or reduce her to appearance. To objectify a woman is to strip her of her humanity. reducing her to little more than her physical form. In Stoic philosophy, the pursuit of wisdom and virtue requires us to recognize the deeper nature of every individual, seeing them not for their external qualities, but for their character, actions, and inner strengths. A woman is not defined by her appearance. She is a complex, multifaceted being, with thoughts, dreams, and emotions that go beyond the superficial. When a man focuses solely on a woman's outward appearance, he fails to acknowledge her full personhood. The Stoic teaches that true value is found in a person's mind and actions, not in their physical form, which is transient and ever-changing. By objectifying her, the man reduces her to something disposable, to be admired only for momentary attraction, rather than for the qualities that define her as a whole person. This reduction of a woman to her appearance can perpetuate harmful societal norms that place value on looks above all else. It diminishes her worth to something that can be judged, critiqued, and ultimately exploited, rather than fostering an environment where she is seen and respected for her capabilities, wisdom, and character. The Stoic path calls for self-mastery and the ability to see beyond fleeting external attributes. To objectify is to reject the Stoic view of virtue, where inner qualities such as wisdom, courage, and justice hold true importance. A woman, like any person, deserves to be valued for who she is in her entirety, not merely for how she looks. This shift in perspective is a necessary step toward mutual respect, understanding, and flourishing relationships. Number 4. Do not ignore her feelings or emotions. Emotions are an integral part of the human experience, and it is essential to acknowledge and respect the emotional state of others. When we dismiss or invalidate a woman's feelings, we fail to recognize her full humanity. In Stoic philosophy, we are taught to cultivate empathy and understanding, to be aware of the emotions of others, and to respond with respect rather than disregard. A Stoic man understands that emotions, while transient and subject to rational examination, are deeply felt and should not be dismissed as unimportant. To ignore or trivialize a woman's feelings is a sign of disrespect, as it suggests that her emotional experience is somehow less significant than that of others. Each person's emotions are valid, and to invalidate them is to disrupt the balance of trust and respect necessary for any meaningful relationship. The Stoic man seeks to understand emotions, not to react impulsively to them, but to listen, acknowledge, and offer support where needed. When a woman expresses her emotions, she is not necessarily asking for solutions, but rather for acknowledgement and understanding. The Stoic response is not to minimize or correct her feelings, but to meet them with compassion, recognizing that all humans face challenges in navigating their emotional lives. To ignore her emotions is to undermine her voice and diminish her capacity to be understood. A man who respects her emotional experience demonstrates wisdom, patience, and integrity. Acknowledging and respecting emotions, whether they are expressed with joy, sadness, or frustration, creates space for deeper connection and mutual respect. The Stoic ideal is not to become detached or indifferent to the emotions of others, but to respond to them with clarity, composure, and empathy, fostering an environment where true understanding can flourish. Number 5. Do not assume her thoughts, actions, or intentions. In the pursuit of wisdom, one must understand the limitations of their knowledge, recognizing that no person can fully comprehend another's mind without listening and engaging openly. To assume a woman's thoughts, actions, or intentions is to overlook her individuality and autonomy. Stoicism teaches us the value of humility, the recognition that we do not have the power to fully know the inner workings of another person's heart and mind. To make assumptions is to act from a place of ignorance, which undermines respect and fosters misunderstanding. Every individual is unique, shaped by their own experiences, values, and desires. To presume we understand a woman's motives without truly listening to her is a profound error. Her thoughts and intentions are hers to define, and they cannot be reduced to simplistic assumptions or stereotypes. It is easy to fall into the trap of interpreting her actions through our own lens, but this is not an exercise in wisdom. It is an exercise in projecting our own biases onto someone else. The Stoic path emphasizes self-control and awareness of our own thoughts, but it also calls for an open mind when interacting with others. Instead of making assumptions, we must ask questions, listen intently, and approach the relationship with a spirit of genuine curiosity. This practice is essential for building trust and mutual respect. Only through active engagement and thoughtful dialogue can we hope to understand another's true intentions, rather than relying on preconceptions or superficial judgments. To assume is to disregard the complexity of another person's being, while to seek understanding is to honor their uniqueness. A Stoic man approaches each woman not with assumptions but with the intent to understand, to listen, and to learn. This is the path to authentic connection. Number 6. Limit her potential. A man must never place limits on a woman's potential, as doing so is an affront to the very essence of equality and human dignity. Every person, regardless of gender, has an innate capacity for growth, achievement, and success. To restrict a woman's aspirations is to deny her the chance to fully explore her abilities, dreams, and ambitions. In the Stoic philosophy, the belief in the development of one's character and the pursuit of virtue is paramount. It is essential to encourage others, especially women, to pursue what they believe is their purpose, unencumbered by constraints. Just as a man should be free to seek his path, so too should a woman be allowed to chart her own course in life. To hinder her progress is to dishonor her autonomy and deny the world the benefit of her unique contributions. The principle of justice teaches that all individuals are entitled to the same opportunities for growth and fulfillment. It is unjust to suggest that one person, based on gender alone, is less capable or deserving of success than another. Rather than limiting her potential, a man should support and uplift her. In doing so, he aids not only her individual journey, but the collective advancement of society. To truly embody Stoic values, one must act with wisdom, understanding that the potential of another should be encouraged, not stifled. Therefore, to limit a woman's potential is to fail in the pursuit of virtue. Each person, regardless of gender, should be empowered to strive toward their fullest self, knowing that their capacity for greatness is limitless. Number 7. Blame her for your mistakes. A man must never deflect responsibility for his own actions by blaming a woman. To shift blame is to act in dishonor and cowardice, as it avoids accountability. In Stoic philosophy, the pursuit of virtue is inherently tied to the acceptance of responsibility. It is not the fault of others when we falter, but a reflection of our own choices and shortcomings. In any relationship, whether personal or professional, integrity demands that we own our actions. When mistakes are made, it is a failure of character to attribute the fault to someone else, especially in an unjust manner. By blaming her, the individual reveals a lack of self-awareness and emotional maturity, both of which are vital qualities in the Stoic way of life. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of controlling what is within our power. One cannot control the actions or reactions of others, but one can control one's own behavior. When faced with the consequences of an error, the Stoic approach is to accept responsibility without excuse. By blaming her, a man forfeits the opportunity to learn from his mistake and to grow. Blaming another person for one's failures also disrupts trust and damages the integrity of the relationship. It shifts the focus from growth and resolution to blame and resentment. Rather than seeking an outlet for fault, A wise individual focuses on understanding their own role in a situation and works to improve themselves. In the spirit of Stoic wisdom, a man should stand firmly in his own accountability, confronting mistakes directly without relying on others as scapegoats. This not only leads to personal growth, but fosters respect and mutual understanding in all relationships. Number 8. Undermine her intelligence. A man must never undermine a woman's intelligence, for to do so is to reject the fundamental Stoic principle of equality and respect for one's inherent potential. The Stoic philosophy holds that all individuals possess the capacity for reason, wisdom, and understanding, regardless of gender. It is unjust and short-sighted to dismiss or belittle another person's intellect simply because of their gender. In life, intelligence manifests in many forms, from problem-solving and logical reasoning to emotional insight and creativity. A woman's intellectual capacity is as vast and varied as anyone else's, and to disregard it is to ignore a vital part of what makes her whole. Just as one would not tolerate being underestimated or condescended to, it is equally unacceptable to treat a woman as intellectually inferior. By undermining her intelligence, a man engages in an act of disrespect that seeks to limit her ability to contribute meaningfully to conversations, decisions, and endeavors. A woman, like anyone, should be encouraged to express her ideas, challenge assumptions, and expand her understanding. In doing so, she not only fosters her own growth, but enriches the environment around her with diverse perspectives and insights. Stoic wisdom teaches that we must approach others with humility and open-mindedness. The idea that one person's intellect is more valuable than another's is a distortion of the virtue of justice, which calls for fairness and equal recognition of the strengths within every individual. To undermine a woman's intelligence is not just a personal failure, but a denial of her fundamental dignity as a rational and capable being. A wise man recognizes the equal value of all minds and approaches women with the respect they deserve, acknowledging their intellect and contributions without prejudice or bias. Number 9. Take advantage of her vulnerabilities. A man must never exploit a woman's vulnerabilities for personal gain, as this is a profound violation of trust and integrity. In Stoic philosophy, the highest virtue is living in accordance with reason, justice, and integrity. To take advantage of someone's weaknesses, especially when they are vulnerable, is to act against these virtues and dishonor the core principles of human dignity. Vulnerability is an inherent part of the human experience, and it is something that everyone, regardless of gender, faces at various points in life. Whether emotional, mental, or physical, vulnerability is a delicate space that requires compassion and respect. To exploit these moments for personal advantage is a form of manipulation and abuse, which undermines the foundation of any genuine, healthy relationship. In the Stoic tradition, justice is central to human interaction, and part of being just is treating others with fairness and consideration. To manipulate or take advantage of another's vulnerabilities not only breaches the trust between individuals, but also reflects a lack of personal integrity. A wise individual, guided by virtue, does not seek to harm or deceive others for personal gain, but instead offers support and kindness in times of difficulty. Stoicism also teaches the importance of self-control and emotional restraint. Exploiting someone's weaknesses for personal benefit is a sign of emotional indulgence, where one allows selfish desires to override ethical conduct. True strength lies in exercising patience, understanding, and empathy, especially when faced with another's vulnerabilities. By respecting a woman's vulnerabilities, a man acts in accordance with wisdom and virtue. Rather than exploiting her weaknesses, he should offer protection, understanding, and guidance, knowing that this is the path to true moral character and integrity. It is essential for a man to uphold respect, integrity, and wisdom in his interactions with women. By honoring their autonomy, intellect, and emotions, and by fostering an environment of equality and support, one contributes to a world that thrives on mutual dignity. Avoiding manipulation, blame-shifting, and exploitation allows for relationships rooted in trust and virtue. Let us strive to embody these principles, ensuring our actions reflect the highest ideals of justice and respect. Thank you for your attention, and good luck in your journey toward personal growth and a deeper understanding of respect in all your relationships.